everything I can tell you about the new Ford Maverick after 1,200 kilometers, and I'll also be showing you one feature that you don't usually get to see on your test drive. It's always interesting when a vehicle's best characteristic or attribute sort of stands up and grabs your attention immediately on a test drive. That's what the new Maverick did on my test drive. I'm going to tell you all about that and plenty more in this video. So let's meet the machine on your screen. 2022 Ford Maverick, starting under 26,000 Canadian with front-wheel drive and a hybrid engine, it could be the ultimate budget-minded pickup. That's one version of the Maverick. My tester is the non-hybrid model running a 2-liter Turbo 4 with all-wheel drive, the FX4 off-road package, and a long list of features that I'll be demonstrating momentarily. With 250 horsepower, up to 4,000 pounds of towing capacity, an 8-speed automatic, and intelligent power to all 4 wheels, my tester pushed pricing up into the high 30s. Specs on your screen, and I should point out that whether front-drive, fuel-sipping hybrid truck or turbocharged 4-wheel drive and off-road ready, Maverick is built in Mexico on the same platform used by the Ford Escape and Bronco Sport, which I showed you earlier this year. Based on my impressions of that Bronco Sport, which shares its gene pool with this Maverick, I'm expecting big things in terms of road manners and rough road ride quality. Does it deliver? Well, we'll get to that shortly, but first let's size it up and get you up close to what this is and what it's got. All right, so let's size this thing up. I'm 5'10". You can see the Maverick here sitting next to me. I'll put up a handy infographic that shows you the dimensions of the Maverick compared to some other Ford pickups for reference. Remember, this truck is for a shopper who wants something that's easy to drive, park, and maneuver even in tight quarters. And in addition to a car-like handling and driving feel where it counts, it is nearly a foot shorter than a Ranger, and that puts it into the same sizing universe as machines like the Honda Ridgeline and new Hyundai Santa Cruz. Getting in and getting seated, you're just sliding in sideways behind the steering wheel. The truck is compact but not cramped around you. The driving position, the layout of the controls, the visibility, and the way that you've got an elevated but not towering forward view all communicates to you that this machine is going to be easy to drive. All right, so let me get you up close with some of the details and features in this cabin, and I'll also be showing you one feature that you don't usually get to see on your test drive. First thing, we go reaching for the engine start button, which is usually around here, or here, actually down there. So you can see kind of quite the reach down. It's obscured by the steering wheel. You'll get used to that pretty quickly. Little startup animation there for you. Shifting a gear with the dial shifter here. Just hold the brake. Backup camera, of course. Single angle, nice and wide. Graphics could be a little better. If you like the more traditional layout to your climate control, instead of having to navigate through a touchscreen system, you're going to find that just fine. Snow and ice and freezing rain and everything else happening in Sudbury that we've been driving the Maverick this week. It's seen a bit of everything. I like to have this up, the intelligent all-wheel drive system. Lane departure system activate by tapping on the end of the turn signal lever here. Got a space here, wireless charging pad for your phone. Another little storage bin up here. If you're using the cord, it's going to just plug in up there for your Android Auto system. 2 proper cup holders, another cubby there. That's great for your wallet. Down here by my left knee, we've got the trailer brake controller, bed light, instrument cluster dimmers. I should give you a little bit of detail on a few of these other controls down here too. Drive mode selector. This is the traction control system here. This is auto hold, which keeps the vehicle in place while you're in gear. Once you've come to a stop, you just take your foot off the brakes, and you have to actually press the gas pedal to make the truck drive. Turn off the engine auto stop system if you don't want that, and this turns on hill descent control, which helps maintain a steady speed if you're going down a steep and slippery hill. Electronic parking brake right there. Big jump. Good boy. Pet owners take note, the rear seats flip up all at once or none at all. Beneath are storage bins, which are handy for your things, but less so if you've got a pet that likes to chill out in the back. If that's the case, you'll probably need them on the seat. And that is a bit of a jump depending on your pet of choice. No problem for Ghost, but he was a bit nervous about the shape of this door opening, a bit smaller than he's used to. Good dog, come on. On featured content, you really do get everything when you deck your Maverick out. I've got radar cruise, a digital instrument cluster readout, power sliding rear window, a heated steering wheel, a fast and responsive Android Auto system, automatic lights and climate control, and the big stereo system from Bang & Olufsen, which is very punchy. And there's also plenty of storage nearby for my smaller items. The interior is dressed up with some rugged styling hues, chunky shapes, exposed fasteners, textured surfaces, and playful use of color and patterns. The materials won't blow anyone's socks off on closer inspection, and some of the tactile controls and interfaces look and feel a bit old school, but they're ultimately logically placed and easy to find and use.
Alright, so let's check out the headlights.
You don't usually get to see how these work on your test drive, so let me show you what's up. These are LED-fired, auto high beam equipped, and they are very good. After hours in the dark, I appreciated the clean white color the most because that helps keep my eyes fresh and alert, and also the spread and reach of the forward illumination was very good as well. This is a lighting system that I think drivers can take confidence from, and I was consistently impressed with the performance. Just one gripe here though, the auto high beam system is fast acting, predictable, and on the ball, though I did note more oncoming traffic flashing me than I like when my low beams were on. But on the empty highways common in my northern Ontario locale, and especially in heavy snow, these LED headlights quickly make this a truck that you'll feel quite relaxed and comfortable driving at night. And speaking of snow, we were lucky enough to have plenty of it for our filming day.
Alright, so let's check out how this drives, and more specifically, why the way it drives, I think, will immediately grab your attention on a test drive and probably quickly become your favorite thing about this truck.
Let me set the stage. The 2-liter Turbo 4 delivers 277 pounds of torque from just off idle speeds. The 8-speed transmission has a quick and snappy first gear, amplifying throttle response off the line. The steering is fast and quick at low speeds, like in city traffic and parking lots. The result is a small truck that feels sportier than you think. Specifically, that's because small inputs to the throttle and steering stir an eager reaction from the vehicle. It's highly responsive, nearly raring to go in traffic, and within 30 seconds of getting behind the wheel of this truck, I was surprised at how this fun-to-drive character was already showing itself. The engine and transmission work nicely together for smooth and quiet performance too. With all that low-end torque, you've got plenty of thrust for more situations without much need to get the engine spinning faster than a few thousand RPM.
This is the roughest road that I have access to. I frequently use this as a ride comfort testing exercise in a lot of the trucks and crossovers, and the thing about it is that it can make even a really good suspension feel and sound sort of smashy and noisy and harsh underneath you. I'd say here in the Maverick, those key disturbances are being nicely managed. The suspension is quieter than I'm expecting. I'm relatively comfortable in here. And at the end of the day, it just goes to reinforce that what you're getting with this truck in terms of a driving feel in a setting like this is that combination of sporty responsiveness, but also tough truck-like durability where it counts.
I'm curious to hear what you think. Let your fellow drivers know down in the comments section below. Do you run one all-terrain tire on your truck all year round in the winter, or do you switch to dedicated winters? And what tires are you using? What tires do you like? What have you had luck with? Let me and your fellow drivers know down in the comments section below. I really appreciate the confidence that comes from the durability built into a tire like this, but I'm not doing a lot of off-road exploring in the wintertime in the deep snow. And for me, that means I can give up some of the ruggedness of the all-terrain tire in the wintertime in exchange for even more grip and traction from a dedicated full-out winter tire.
The automatic four-wheel drive system works with no driver input required aside from maybe using slippery weather mode on a day like this, which helps more evenly split engine power between the wheels at low speeds, and that's for improved traction and bite in deep snow. Turning it on and toggling the different modes is as easy as pressing a button. A brief moment of slip or spin, and the system electronics get to work optimizing power delivery and working the brakes individually to better translate your intentions to the road. All-wheel drive and traction-enhancing electronics work in sync to maximize grip and maneuverability, and from behind the wheel, it's just point, shoot, and enjoy. Maverick is highly obedient in the snow, allows plenty of wheel spin when needed, and like the drive and the ride, the four-wheel drive system feels expertly calibrated. Even the brake pedal feel is more confidence-inspiring than I was expecting, a strong initial bite and minimized dead space at the top of the pedal being key reasons why. Though again, a dedicated winter tire is highly recommended for maximum stopping performance on snow and ice. On the highway, it feels sturdy and planted, the sporty engine and steering remain easy to appreciate, the ride is calm and comfy but a little choppy over certain surfaces, and I had no issues with noise levels. Even at highway speeds, they're kept down enough that you don't need to raise your voice for a conversation. All said, I think test driving shoppers will quickly find a Maverick like this one to deliver a pleasing balance of sporty and responsive dynamics, and a feel of truck-like durability and toughness that are easy to appreciate on any drive, and maybe especially if you live in a locale like me, where a lot of the roads are in very bad shape.
Well, that's everything I can tell you about the new Ford Maverick after 1,200 kilometers of winter back roads and highway testing right here in Northern Ontario. If you're considering one of these or you've recently bought one, your fellow drivers would love to hear what you think down in the comment section below. My name's Justin Pritchard. Hit that like and subscribe button down below if you learned something new. And until next time, take care and drive safe.